Okay, so let's start talking about appointments. Now, just so you know, the difference between an appointment and a meeting is an appointment is something that you just make for yourself. You're the only one that's really attending. You're not bringing a boatload of people with you. Whereas a meeting is more of where it involves a lot of people. So the difference would be you make a doctor's appointment, but that doctor's appointment becomes a meeting when you bring a bunch of people with you. All right. So anyway, so how do you do this? I mean, and this is a pretty simple process. So I'm going to jump over into the following week here, and I want to set up just an appointment of whatever it is, maybe on Monday, starting at maybe 10 o'clock. All right. So what I do is I just kind of point to this slot right here, double click it. That opens up in my little appointment window. I can put the title on here. I can put something like take Spike to vet. All right. And since I double clicked on 10 o'clock, it starts at 10 o'clock. I need this to be at least a couple hours. So I go down to here. I really love this aspect here. I can just go and say 2 hours because it's lined up with the 12 o'clock here. Makes it easy to see. And the location, normally you'd click onto that to get a room. All right. But in our case, we're just going to say at Dr. Chops. Okay. That's it. And then if you need to, you can go ahead and put in any kind of a detail down here if you'd like. Maybe some notes to yourself as to maybe what you need to bring or, things like that. But whatever, you know how that goes. So you put all that in there. And then once you've done that, we go ahead and close it. Now, let me just back up just a little bit. If you are sharing your calendar and you think, oh, this is maybe a little private, I don't need people that I'm sharing with to be able to see the details. I just want them to know that I'm not going to be around between 10 and 12. Okay. So, and also too for people that are scheduling and all that. So scheduling meetings for me during that time. So what you can do is you can click on to private just like that. And now it will only show the details on your own computer, and that's it. Anybody that you've shared with or you've delegated to, they're not going to be able to see this stuff. All right. And then once we've done that, we go ahead and hit save and close. And there we go. There's Dr. Chops, and there's that little lock on there. So student B, who I've given full access to my calendar for, will see this as busy. That's all they're going to see. They're not going to see take Spike to the vet with Dr. Chops and all that. They're not going to be able to double click it to open it up and read any details in there. That's it. Now, if I need to modify this, I need to move it, whatever, a couple ways I can do that. All right, so to reschedule this, all you have to do is, and if you want to keep the time span the same, you can actually just kind of point to the meeting, hold on your mouse like this, and you can actually drag it like this. See, so you can drag it within the day, you can drag it to another day. You can even go as far as, let me just do this real quick here. If you go into, let's say, well, you could take it from here and drag it to another day over here. All right, so right now it's on the 25th, so you can actually drag it to this one right here, or you can drag it into the following month. If you had more than just the 1 month displayed there, you could actually drag down to that point, but here we're kind of stuck. So I'll just go to next, let's say Wednesday. All right, Wednesday the 3rd of April. So I drag it and drop it there. And now what will happen is, now we're in April, and now you'll see that one in there, okay? And the same thing on the flip side, if I decide I want to put it back to, the 30th, let's say, or whatever it was, I can just drag it back to here, and now there it is on the 30th. And it kind of flipped me into like the 7-day view there. It did this next 7-day thing here for me. But I can go back to just the work week there, and then I can go there, wherever it was. There. All right. Here, I'll flip it back to month here. I like lost it here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it looks like it's on the 30th. Now, if I'm in the monthly view, I can actually take this and say, okay, I want to move this to the 29th. Because I don't have any time scale, basically what happens is if I drag it over to the 29th, it puts it in the same time slot, all right, for the 29th of April. So now if I go back into my week, and now I'm in the next week here, there it is on Monday starting at 10 o'clock. So pretty good. The other way too, you can just do a double click on it, and you can go here and you can change the date and the time and all that if you'd like, and do the same thing. All right. Now we could have another type of appointment where it's just an all-day or multi-day appointment. And let's say that starting on the 30th, okay, of April, we want to do a, let's say a 3-day event. So, and this is going to be just an appointment, so it's just going to involve us and whoever we're going to see, but it has nothing to do with any of our people. So I'll double click it, just anywhere, it doesn't matter where to do it at. I'm going to tell it that I want this to be an all-day event, and we're going to go from 4:30 until the 2nd. So we're going to go from like Tuesday to Thursday. So a 3-day event there. And then again, the location is going to be outside, so we're going to say Tampa branch or something, and then we'll know what that is. All right. So, oh, and also the title. The title could be like maybe a sales workshop. Okay. Now you have to watch this. It's I don't know why it does this, but it just does it. On here, it says show as, and it says free. Now, what that means is that if once you put it in there, if somebody were to want to schedule you for, or schedule me in this case, for a meeting, and they happen to want to do it during this time span, they're going to look at that and say, oh, it looks like he's free during that time. No, I'm not free. No. What I need to do is change that to being either busy or out of the office. I mean, if I'm going to be in a different, locale, I might as well say out of the office, right? And that's it. And then once I've done that, I can go ahead and by the way, too, I can set up a reminder to remind me about this. It's a pretty big event, but we'll just set up a reminder, and we can say the reminder could be a 1-day thing. So 1 day before this. So on Monday, a little pop-up window is going to show, and it's going to say that, hey, you've got this workshop, starting tomorrow. I can go down here, I can put in, whatever information I need to put in about it, and then go ahead and hit save and close, and there it goes. So now you'll see that along the top there. Now, if I had put instead in there, instead of being out of the office, I can just say I'm busy, all right, and hit save and close. Then, no difference, just going to have the little orange bar in there instead, right? On the other hand, let me just do the other one now. If I go back there and say I'm going to make it out of the office, save and close, then you'll see it kind of turn kind of like that purplish color there. But either way, I'm out of there, right? Now, another thought about this is this sales workshop thing. If there's a file, like maybe a spreadsheet or what have you, that you want to link to this in order to later on maybe go to that link, go to that file, and put things in it while you're doing the workshop, okay? What you could do is open this thing up, all right, and go into the insert, and you'll see this thing here called link. And if I say I want a link, I want to insert a link, just like that. And let's say I click on to existing file, all right? And then I can go in and find where I need to go here. I've got to navigate to the file here, so I got to go over here, scroll down to my OneDrive here. And I'll go to my, I'm just going to dig up some files here, that's all. All right, so let's just say it's this file here, all right? So I'll double click that, and there it is. So it kind of puts it into the body there. Then I just go ahead and save it, just like that, and there it is. Now, I'm on the road, whatever, and I can go to my meeting. I can double click this, open it up, click onto here, and that will open up the file. I can then add the information I want to it. And then when I'm all done, I can just kind of close it up. If I did make any changes, it would ask me, do you want to save it? And it would save it. And then it saves it right back to that location. So pretty cool. Now we can do other kinds of appointments where they're recurring. In other words, they happen over and over for a certain duration of time, maybe every week, every month, you know, whatever happens to be. And let's say this appointment is kind of a personal thing. Let's say it's you have to go to the chiropractor, okay? And you've got an appointment. Maybe the chiropractor is right next door to where you work, so it's not a real big deal. But what you want to do is schedule that for, let's say, 7 a.m. every Friday. Let's say starting with this coming Friday, and schedule it out for the next, you know, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months, whatever. So how would we do that? So we would go to the 7 o'clock slot there, let's say, double click it. And this would be something that just maybe goes from 7 to 7:30, that long. I mean, if they spend 3 minutes with you, you're lucky. So you've got that, and this will be going with Dr. Crap 'em up. UP, okay. Dr. Crack Me Up. Oh, I just crack 'em up. How about that one? Okay. Anyway, so that's what it is. The location at, you know, his office, whatever. I mean, I don't think you really need to say that about it. There's probably no details that you need in there. So now, so at the top there, it shows busy. That's what we want. And now what we're going to do is we're going to set it to be recurrence. Now, if you didn't do that, and instead you just hit save and close, you would have to then copy that as many times as you need for each of the Fridays, all right? And we don't want to have to really do that. So an easier way would be just to do the recurring. So we click on the recurrence up there, and we have it going for, you know, between 7 and 7:30. We want it to be weekly. It's occurring on Friday, and we want it to be every week, and it's going to end by a certain time, all right? So we can either do that, or it might be the fact that maybe we were in an accident and it's going to take, you know, 30 visits to get us back to normal. That's what the doctor says. So we go here and we change this to 30, all right? And that's it. And then once you've done that, you go ahead and hit OK. And then we go ahead and hit save and close. And that's it. Now, if I go to my monthly calendar, I can see on here that it just goes and goes until whatever it is. I guess it'd be December 22nd. So that would be it. So pretty neat in that regard. Now, on some of these, if you wanted to, you could actually, let's just say that maybe on this one right here, you have to go a day early, all right? So you can actually just point to this one here, drag it over to here, let go, and it says you change the date of the occurrence, blah, blah, blah. Okay, do you want to change just this one? Yes. And off it goes. Otherwise, if you say no, then it's going to change all of them to that new date, see? So nonetheless, that's how that works. Now let's say for that specific one there, we get on towards the end here, and let's just say that we want to delete this one for whatever reason, okay? Now I click onto it, I hit delete, all right? And it says, do you want to delete all occurrences or just this one, right? And I say I want to delete the series. I mean, if this was the only one I wanted to delete, then I would just go with that. But I want to delete the series, so I click onto here, hit OK, and it does that. But the problem with that then is what? It loses everything. So that's kind of a bad one there. And the other thing too is that I don't have undo. So that kind of messes that one up. But so in the case of doing that, what you want to do is just if anything, you'd go back in there and you'd modify it internally. Okay, so let me show you how you do that. So let me just go back to today here. That'll take me back up there. Okay, so I'm going to start with next Friday. So that'll be the 29th. And I'm going to go ahead and double click that again. Okay, I'll make this quick. Dr. Crack. Okay, location, his office. Right, now this is going to go from, it's not going to be an all-day event. It's going to go from 7 to 7:30. Oh, so there's 30 minutes there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make this recurring, so we can either hit this one or hit this one down here, it doesn't matter. But we click onto that, all right? And again, we'll just say it's going to go, you know, weekly, every Friday, 25 we'll just leave it at 25 occurrences, right? Hit OK, save and close, and that's it. And at that point, if there's just one that you want to get rid of, you just click onto it and delete it and say you just want to delete that instance. But if you want to kind of change it to where maybe you find out that it's only going to be 25, you only need 15, then you could go back to the first one, double click it, and we're going to go the entire series, hit OK, all right, comes right back in here again. We go back to recurrence, all right, and this time what we do is we want it to end after only, we'll make it 15 occurrences, right? So all this stuff remains the same. We hit OK, save and close, and there we go. So now we just have 15 of them. So pretty easy thing to do. The other thing I was pointing out was that you can actually, if you wanted to make your own recurrence, but you didn't really need to get that involved with it, you could actually take this one here. I'll just do it on this one here. I'll kind of take this and I'll drag it over to here, all right? But then what I'm going to do is on my keyboard, so I'm dragging it from here to here. Now if I let go, I'm just moving it, right? But if I hold down my control key and then let go, I've made a duplicate, and now I've got that appointment here, and I've got it both here as well. So I can very easily just kind of point to it, hold on the control key, drag it, and say, okay, I want to put that one there, all right? Then I can take this one here, control key, and drag it to there, see? And if I need to modify the time, I can just double click it, modify the time, and go from there. So I think that should give you a pretty good idea of how you go about you know, putting appointments in there, the recurring ones, the not so recurring, the sort of recurring, and everything else. So hopefully this helps you, and I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.